Hello and welcome to the Halo 4 Spartan Ops Season 1 overview. This week we'll be taking a look at Episode 2, the next set of 5 chapters that 343 has put out for the Halo 4 Spartan Ops mode. After another amazing cutscene, we dive right in to Chapter 1, which is Cleanup. The Marine forces have failed to neutralize a Covenant stronghold and are requesting Spartan assistance. This time it's you taking on a big base of Covenant that is supported later on by some Promethean forces. You're going to want to take this one really slow, be patient, and just pick off the guys one by one as you make your way up to the top of the tower. Make sure you take out the turrets at the top, otherwise you're going to get chewed up on your way there. You're definitely going to want to pick up some explosive weapons for the clusters of enemies that'll be pouring out at you after you make your way to the top of the tower. In Chapter 2, labeled For Science, that takes place in the Cauldron, you're trying to find out what happened to a science team that issued a distress call, then it went silent. There's been no contact since, so of course you gotta go in and find out what's going on in there. You're taking on another mix of Covenant and Promethean forces, where you need to neutralize a bunch of shield generators. You're going to want to pick up powerful weapons like the fuel rod cannon off the grunt so you can use that against the tons of elites that you'll find in this mission. You're going to be making up a lot of ground in this mission, so just make sure you're picking your shots and staying behind cover as you make your way down to find the science team. There's a couple spots that don't have a lot of cover, so just make sure that you're using your grenades and rockets wisely. The next mission, called Hacksaw, has you helping out a Marine squad that got pinned down, and they need your help to clear out the enemies in the snow-covered base. The enemies scattered through the base aren't too tough, and you do have some Marine support. Just make sure that you head to the top of the base for when the giant Lich ships come in, and you actually have to shoot those down. So grab a Spartan laser, you can use the mounted turrets up there, or even fire a couple rockets at them to take them out. The enemies on the ground shouldn't be too tough, just watch out for the ghosts and the one wraith that does show up. Chapter 4, called Pelican Down, has you moving backwards through the familiar territory of Sniper Alley. There's lots of bottlenecks, also a lot of enemies, so grab a long-range weapon and pick them off. When you do make it back to the top of the base, just make sure you don't get ambushed from the units that are dropped in from all around you. Don't be afraid to move back to the bottom of the base so you can get some breathing room and pick off some of those elites and grunts. Once you've killed everything, you can go in and help Fireteam Crimson that's been shot down. The final chapter of Episode 2, called Gagarin, has you investigating what some scientists have been up to in the refuge. It ends up being a big firefight with Promethean forces. Grab a scatter shot and start putting some of those doggies to rest. When the knights show up, just make sure you grab an incineration cannon to take care of those guys. Use the verticality to your advantage, as you can head up to the top of the research facility and you won't be bothered by too many enemies, and you'll be able to pick off most of the guys that are on the ground below.
Oh, do tell. Maybe the same thing that happened to Dr. Glassman happened to Gagarin team.
That's above your pay grade, Miller.